What up, fam? Been a minute. Sorry I ain't been around. There's a lot going on. So, yeah. Tuesday, as we all know, Twiztid's Abominationz dropped. Now, apparently there was a whole fuck up with the computer systems at Hatchet, and a lot of people didn't get their pre-orders, and so on and so forth. And there was, I think, some people even personified that with some questions of, was it done intentionally to fuck up Twiztid's release and everything? And, come on, man. Number one, unlike Boondocks and ABK and, all the other guys that have been on Psychopathic, Twiztid owns part of the company. So they're just as much a vested interest as anybody else. And that also means that ICP can't just go, hey, you know what, get the fuck out of here. Now, as far as the album itself goes, let's go on with the review. I just kind of wanted to get that out of the way. People, seriously, don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Yeah, it's fucked up that everybody got their shit from Hatchet Gear late, but the fact is that we all have ordered from Hatchet Gear, and we all have had a fuck up or two in the past. That's just a true story. Kind of like when I ordered a pair of size 12 Hatchet Man skater shoes and got a pair of size 7.5s. So yeah, it's happened to all of us. But in any case, hopefully by now everybody's gotten their shit. And those who haven't, it's definitely on its way. But yeah, the album itself, absolutely incredible. It is all I can say. Definitely a different feel a little bit on some songs, but very much old school. Very much the old school Twiztid, the evil serial killer duo, I mean, they took it way back on a lot of these songs. A lot of people were let down with Heartbroken and Homicidal. But the fact is that they were, there was a reason for the sound of that album. They were talking about heartbreak and how it affects us. There was a theme to it. A lot of arguments I've seen lately on the difference between Abominationz and Wicked. Wicked was a concept album. It was a horror story from start to finish. It was intended to be, from one end to the other, the telling of like a horror movie or a horror story of some kind. So, on that level, Wicked stands on its own. But as far as overall, this album is just incredible. The lyricism, again, both Jamie and Paul bring it to the max. A couple of songs I loved how they kind of brought that fast rap back again. I love that kind of stuff. So when they do it, it's awesome. I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but ever since Jamie lost all his weight, his voice, when he does his kind of growly, gravelly type of voice, it's not as deep as it used to be. And I don't know if that's just me, or if it's, if I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because he's older and shit. But, just front to back, this album is incredible. It surpassed my expectations by leaps and bounds. And I'm going to tell a special kind of a little story here that happened. As you all know, my homeboy Boston passed away back in January. And, he was... Yeah, unfortunately, it was, the good thing was that it was natural causes, well, not natural causes, but it was It wasn't anything where he had left this place by his own decision. But when we heard the Love Don't Live Here Anymore, It's Been So Cold Since You Went Away song, the minute that song started, I was just had this overwhelming feeling that it was like Twiztid knew him. And it was like, I was like, really, Michael? You were in the room when they wrote this? I mean, Jesus. It was incredible just how hard it hit home. And me and Beth were both sitting here. And I grabbed her and I held her as we listened to the song. And I had tears in my eyes. I mean, to this point, I still, every time I listen to it, I get a tear. And it's an incredible song. And then Leave It Up to Twiztid. It was just a very emotional moment. And then we listened to the next track. And, of course, it's them crying. And then, what are you crying for? And then, smile. I look like I had a stroke. Yeah, quit making me laugh. Oh, my God. That was hilarious. And it was like they did that to, they knew how deep that song was. So they wanted to give you something to, to feel okay. Is really what that was about. And it was like, here's this wonderful, amazing, very deeply emotional song. Okay, now we're going to do what Twiztid does best, and we're going to make you laugh. A lot of people love the Royce the 5'9" song. I like it. It's not great, but it's good. The beats throughout were very, very well done. Just very well done. Very well done. You can tell that Seven took a lot in hand with the producing. Just an amazing, amazing feel on the album itself. I'd love to hear some old Fritz the Cat beats again. But Seven does an amazing job. I mean, right off the bat, the bad side, and then going right down the line. It's just a solid, very solid album. And I think the general consensus is that as a whole, some people will say, well, my personal belief is that musically, lyrically, stuff like that, Twiztid far outweighs ICP as far as that kind of stuff. And I think to a point, even ICP know that. But you got so many people that are just, Twiztid is much more what they're about. And although I love them all equally, Twiztid is by far my favorite group on the label. I mean, it's just hands down. There's no way I can not say that, because it's the absolute truth. It's just amazing. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it out there. It's just an amazing, amazing album. Don't hesitate if you don't already have it. Go out and get it. Download the shit if you have to, just to hear it. But don't waste time. It is by far the last album I enjoyed this much, from Psychopathic anyway. Fuck it, I'll say it. I'll go all the way back to probably The Race Shangri-La. I mean, that was the last album that I listened to front to back and was like, fucking amazing. Independence Day was awesome. Wicked was awesome. Heartbreaking and Homicidal was awesome. and they were all awesome in their own ways. But this album is just absolutely incredible. And I hope to see more. I hope to see more like this. By far a better album than The Mighty Death Pop. Some people are gonna probably say that I'm a fucking asshole for saying that, but it's the truth. I mean, and yeah, Twiztid is a different sound than ICP to begin with, but just overall, the feel of the album, the way it was put together, I mean, just absolutely stunning piece of work. Don't hesitate. Run out and grab it if you don't have it already. It is absolutely worth the buy. Gonna try and put a couple more videos out in the next couple days. I got a day off today that I'm not going to be doing much, so see if I can't put a video or two up. But main thing was I wanted to get this review out there. Leave some love. Peace. Much family love.